What's up guys, Jake Does here. I'm with PJ Tour Superstore. We're at the Kingdom. I'm gonna be doing a driver fitting for the new Qi4D. I'm super excited to hit it. I haven't hit a TaylorMade product in a couple of years, so just can't wait to test it and see how good it is.
All right, Jake, so just want to have you start with your gamer, just get a little baseline, kind of see what's going on.
Yep.
While you're doing that, why don't you talk to me a little bit about what you want out of your driver?
So I like really neutral.
Okay.
I obviously work the ball a ton, so I kind of like to be able to go both ways with it. I feel like for me, I'm such a feel player that, you know, the most important thing is it feels like it's not going to be giving on me and going kind of quick left, you know?
Through impact, you like it to feel pretty stable.
Pretty stiff,
Okay.
definitely. I hate feeling like the face gives more than I release it, basically.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
I like to be able to hit draws and fades, but obviously it's easier to fade it. So I'd rather the draw kind of be a tight draw, hang in there, and then be able to hit the big banana if I want to.
Awesome. And then what about loft? You normally play a lower lofted driver?
Pretty low loft, yeah. So I'm in a low spin head, 8 degrees. I've always
Typically
been
play a low spin golf ball as well?
I do, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. I spin a lot. It's kind of why DOD works, I think, decently well. Is I get some air under it, get some spin too.
You're brave for driver off the deck.
It's great for
Very
driver off the
brave.
deck, definitely. Maybe
Okay.
not optimized for like teeing it high and sending it, but gives me options, you know.
Cool. All right, let's see a couple. And if you had to describe a miss that you like or that you would be comfortable with, would it be something like that, moving left to right?
Yeah, I'd rather it hang out if anything.
Okay.
You know, the quick left is probably the one that I hate to see the most. You know, I kind of I'll tend to get under it, but I don't mind that like high floaty hanging out ball. You know, feels like it stays in play a little bit. Yeah, so those are like pretty normal fades. You know, just kind of high left to right shot.
Okay.
More or less a stock. I kind of don't have a stock shot anymore.
Awesome.
You know, that's at least like more of the stock fade, I'd say.
All right, I'm gonna just take a little video of you, and what's cool about this is how we can use our technology, whether it's TrackMan or whatever we're using. And if we don't have that, we can simply just use our phone to get an idea about some of your tendencies.
Awesome.
And that's gonna help me decide where we should go for shaft profile.
Yeah,
That's
love it.
specific to you.
Okay, love it, absolutely.
Nice.
How's it going there?
Yeah, I like
Straight
that
ball?
one. Let's do a couple more.
Yeah.
Let me just get an idea about what's going on here.
Does it help to hit a bunch of different shapes, or do you like kind of the?
Yeah, I mean,
bigger
just
one?
kind of be you.
Just whatever.
If you want to work a few different shot shapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's try to turn one over. I would say too, with me liking the tight draw, like the driver setup overall is like kind of anti-left, and so, like I was saying earlier, for me like a draw, it's never going to sling as much as the fade would go left to right. You know, I kind of like it to
Soft draw.
almost hard to draw. It's where I feel like I can go ahead and try to draw it, and it's not going to be crazy. You
Gotcha.
know?
Okay,
It's
perfect.
not going to just snipe off the planet.
Let's do one more with this, and then we'll jump into something different.
Perfect.
Good.
That was a good draw. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Cool.
So what's cool about the product this year is that it's going to align with a new series of shafts
Okay.
that tell the story about what we want to look for in your swing, which
Yeah,
is basically your rotation.
Right,
Okay. How much
right.
rotation do you have through impact really helps us decide what type of profile, specifically in the tip, that certain players should play,
Right.
so that we can get things to work for you more often than not.
Okay.
Right? We want to manage your misses, and we want the club to be suited to you.
Just matching how I release.
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, so we'll start with our Reacts Blue in a 60X.
Okay.
Okay, it's just kind of just a really neutral setting. We're gonna keep it pretty neutral to start, and then
Okay.
we'll start making tweaks. What I'm looking to do is get you to find the fairway as much as possible. So we're gonna fit mostly left to right first.
Sure.
And then we can work on pulling levers with the sleeve, the weights, anything like that for the up and down to make
Fine-tune
sure.
trajectory.
Exactly, we'll
Okay.
get that last 10% and make it as efficient as possible so it flies how we want to, but we're still in the range of the fairway.
Perfect.
Okay?
Love it. Yeah.
We're gonna start with the LS head. It's gonna be most comparable to what you're in now in terms
Okay.
of just a low spin head.
Perfect, yeah.
This is the LS 9 degree. It's got two weights. You've got a 15-gram weight and a 4-gram weight, which we can swap out and interchange.
Okay.
Your kind of traditional pear-shaped driver. So
Sure.
probably pretty similar to what you're used to playing.
Just kind of
okay?
neutral, low spin.
Yeah, very, very neutral setup. Our low spin driver. Yeah, Jake, so before we get into that, just looking at some of the aspects with your gamer, I think what I'm looking at specifically to start out is the landing angle.
Okay.
That's really the biggest thing that we focus on here at the Kingdom. Obviously, we maintain ball speed, we look at launch, we look at spin. All those three things together create this ball flight though.
Right.
So how do we judge shot by shot how efficient each ball flight is and how can you be as consistent as possible? So we look at the landing angle. Looking at yours, you know, we look for a range of 30 to 40 degrees.
Right.
R&D will tell us through physics that will get us what we deserve based off of some of the other numbers we present.
Right.
But it also fits our visual eye.
Definitely,
right? So,
definitely.
you know, that window that you look at when you hit a driver, you pick your tee up right away, that's the window that the ball is flying in.
Right, right.
So yeah, we have some of the shots, like the first shot in general, 42.8 on the landing angle. It's a little bit steep. You combine that, exactly, combine that with a little higher spin, and you're gonna get a ball that's gonna not wanna roll out so much, which is to be expected with a high fade shot. But if we can get potentially you to be a little bit more in that range, even with that type of shot, you can get a little bit more out of it than what you should.
So that's nice for like what's kind of a miss on that high fade that kind of, it's a little too high and a little too fadey. A little over 40s reasonable though.
Yeah, I mean, and so that's the optimum. Obviously we're looking for a relative optimum. Every player has a relative optimum, what they can possibly do with how they swing the golf club, what parameters they have. So we're looking at an optimum range, and then we're looking at Jake's relative optimum compared to that, right?
I might have a bigger range than most people with the shot variety, you know?
Yeah, so I mean, there is some fluctuation with some of the numbers, right? You have some higher spin with the left to right shots, lower spin with the right to left shots. But in general, I think the landing angle is pretty close. So that lets me know that where we're at for loft is probably close to where we want to be.
For sure. What was the landing angle on that low draw, that last one? Is that way different than the 42?
Last one was going to be...
That was just that flatter, hotter draw?
Was still at 41, 2,400
Okay.
RPMs a spin. So almost 1,000 RPMs difference between that draw shot that you hit compared to that fade shot.
Right.
And that's something that we may see a difference with the new driver as well, is the difference from a top hit to the bottom on the face. The difference in the spin has come a lot closer.
Sweet,
right?
Love that.
So we can just be a little more consistent with our yardages, even though as golfers we aren't as consistent around the face.
For sure, yeah. It's nice to know you can hit it anywhere on the face and get like similar results.
That's what we're going for. Very solid hit.
Yeah, that felt good.
Yeah.
It's a little necky. I think it's why it started hair left.
A little bit in the heel. Not a lot of spin on that, which is good to be expected for a necky shot. Yeah, 1,500 RPMs a spin, which still may be a little bit on the lower side.
For sure.
Right, something we'll work on. But first swing, you know, about 158 miles an hour at ball speed too. Very solid hit.
That felt really good.
That was 3 miles an hour faster, 160. Still coming in with the landing angle. 38.7 on the landing angle.
A little flatter.
A little bit flatter, 3,000 RPMs a spin. And that's why we focus so much on landing angle, is because you can look at 3,000 RPMs a spin and think maybe negatively about it.
Sure.
But that ball is flying very efficiently.
Right.
So
that sounds like a high number, but that visually you can tell that ball flies flat and nice, you know?
Exactly. Really good swing there.
Thank you. See if I can get a little draw with it. It's really straight. It's
trying.
Not
I was going to say it's trying to draw.
But that fits the characteristic I like, where if I feel like I'm going to try to hit a draw and it's not going to kind of snipe left. That's such a nice feeling.
Yeah,
where,
exactly.
Again, it's almost hard to draw. Like, I don't want it to actually be hard to draw, but like knowing I can kind of release it and not flip hook it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. If you want to eliminate the left side of the course, but still have that option to work a right to left shot, that's probably the feeling that you want. Is it's probably harder to draw in general.
Definitely.
Really nice swing there, a little bit faster, getting up to 160.5 with the ball speed. 2,900 RPMs, 38 on the landing angle again. So we're living more in the range.
Yeah, very consistent.
You know, high 30s would probably be really nice spot for you.
For the landing angle?
Yeah.
High 30s?
So far.
That was really nice. That was a lot higher, but that
I was going to say maybe a little higher than normal. So that's going to be a little steeper.
Different contact on the face. That was a little higher, but I feel like in a good way. It's kind of that high on the face launch.
You didn't lose anything with ball speed. You're still at 160.5. 43 on the landing angle. I think we could both see that.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen.
For sure.
2,700 RPMs a spin though, so
That's
if we
nice.
can kind of fluctuate these two, sometimes when our landing angle gets higher, if we
Yeah.
can have a little bit lower spin, you know, it sort of
Works
equals
out.
out,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
may not get as much rollout, but the ball's coming out with less spin, so it's going to want to try.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Really
what
good
like
swing. Talk to me about how you feel with the shaft.
shaft feels. Yeah. So I'm someone who's used the same shaft for like 5 years, so I'm always like pretty hesitant to like not to try anything different, but I'm skeptical. I know I don't like to change, such a feel player, but this actually feels really good. It's soft, but it's keeping up. You know, it's not. Again, I keep talking about like the face releasing on me. It feels like it's soft and I have that feel, but it's not shutting, which is really nice.
Good.
So I actually really like it.
All right, awesome. We're going to make a little change with the shaft. We'll
Yeah.
stick with this head,
Okay.
but let's hit a few more and we'll make a little change.
There we go.
So was that a little too much, or is that?
A little of both. Like that's kind of the shot I don't like to see, but I definitely added a little too much face.
Added
It's a little of both, I would say.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, knowing the shaft that you probably currently play, this could potentially be a bit softer, but probably in the right range for profile.
It's close, yeah.
Judging off what I saw and based off of what you're feeling and your feedback, I think it's pretty close. But let's try one more.
Perfect, yeah, absolutely. That is the one though, that's like the good swings still hold, but then like I give it a little too much and it's, you know, a little too soft, maybe a little too twisty, I guess.
Could be a little more action at the bottom than what you're normally used to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so React shaft again, just a little different profile. This is our React's white.
Okay.
I'll give you an idea about what the differences are after we do some testing.
Sure.
I just want you to make
Hit it first.
fair swings. Yeah.
Love it. Again, it's both me, like those are, you know, I'm giving it too much.
Yeah.
Too much release.
I normally don't focus on the first one. Just gave you something completely different than what you've probably
that's always
in 6 years.
A weird part of a fitting is like you have no idea what it's gonna feel like when you move the club, you know? You start to swing it and you're like, you absolutely have no idea what it's gonna feel like.
There you go. Good swing there.
Thank you. That felt good. It takes like a little more patience, I think, in transition versus my gamer. I have to wait on it like a little bit. If I go quick, it flips, you know?
And you'll be interested to see or hear what the difference is in this shaft and why it's so important for us to match up a profile.
Absolutely.
You know, we're not looking just at, hey, how fast do you swing it? Let's give you the most firm 40 shaft that we have.
Exactly.
It's all about getting the profile correct.
Right.
Even players that swing in 130 miles an hour can play certain different profiles.
100%.
So, let's see a couple more.
Yeah.
In terms of numbers, still decently solid with the ball speed, 159, 39 on the landing angle. That was pretty solid, 2,400 RPMs a spin. So a really nice ball there.
Okay, thank you. That was
Really
a necky
solid.
ball again. I do love how the heel shots are just straight. They're not weak fades. They're actually just like start a hair left and go really straight, you know?
Another solid one, 160, 35 on the landing angle. So we would call that sort of numerical perfect in terms of how it flies with 2,700 RPMs a spin.
Just right in the middle of the range.
Really, really solid ball there.
Love it, thank you. And again, for a miss it, like that was,
off
I
the
necked
heel,
it. Yeah,
right? Yeah,
100%.
Really solid. Beauty.
Felt great. That's probably the best contact.
Yeah, that's been the fastest ball speed so far, 163. So
Love it.
we're starting to gain. Potentially could be some of what we're seeing with this profile shaft, matching maybe a little bit better.
Just kicking better for me.
Yeah, just differently. Let's do one more.
Yeah. Ooh, slipped in my hands a little.
Slipped a little bit?
A little bit.
Okay.
It's probably not wearing a glove. They'll occasionally slip.
Still an important one for us to see really how things change so drastically with landing angle and spin.
That's probably a little higher landing angle, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Maybe double the apex.
Yeah, 150 on the apex. That's pretty high.
It's pretty high. It's pretty high. Yeah, we don't like to see that one.
Beauty.
Feels so good.
Really solid.
That feels like it's gonna be copy and paste from that one 2 shots ago.
The previous one.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty
163.
close. It's probably a mile-an-hour difference in the, oh, actually, no, the same amount of club head speed, 160 and some change on the ball speed, 38 on the landing angle, 2,300 RPM.
Love that.
So really, really solid. That's 270 in the air, 293 total. So what we're looking for is if we can get that landing angle in a good spot, matching with getting the spin in a place where visually it looks good to you, doesn't feel like it's rising, but it has enough to stay in the air, we can start to get a good amount of carry distance and the secondary. So really solid setup. Would you say you like this shaft set up a little bit better than the first? Are they pretty close?
Pretty close.
Okay.
They're pretty close, yeah. I think, I'm trying to think the bad one, like both of them when I necked it, they went straight. They checked that box. I had two kind of quick lefts with this versus one. Not a huge sample size, I know, but I would say that I would probably prefer the other one just based on number of lefts. But again, also not the best swings. So they're close.
Enough.
They're very close.
Cool. Okay. Let's jump into maybe something a little bit closer to what you normally play, you know, in your gamer.
Yep.
We'll move out of reacts just for a minute. Give that a go.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is this a shorter shaft or is it the same length?
Same length, 45 and a half.
See, I towed that, but that's nice that it's not way left.
Yeah, not a ton of vicious movement to the left.
Yeah, 20 yards left with a kind of a pretty bad toe ball.
Good.
I mean, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, considering it wasn't a center strike, ball speed is where I would think it would be, high
Upper
50s,
50s, yeah.
right?
Yep.
41 in the landing angle, but 2,300 RPMs because we're out on that side of the face, which is a good miss.
Right.
As long as it didn't feel like it went too far left for you, I'd be happy numbers-wise with that.
Yep. That's definitely, that fits the, like, you know, there's like a certain range where like if I tow it and I hook it, it's gonna go left, right, no matter what, basically. And so that matched what I feel like I gave it.
Good.
Kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Just a hair more than the first.
Yeah.
Still felt like it was out on the toe?
No, that was pretty solid, but that was just me shutting it down.
Shutting it a little bit, okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you, going between clubs and different feels, it's always hard for me in a fitting to like keep my baseline swing, you know? It's like everything feels different, so it's always hard to keep giving it.
Try your best to be you. I don't want you to mold,
you
know, to try to get it to work. I want you to just be you. Good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
pretty consistent, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's like the same ball flight 3 times in a row.
Pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Okay. Once I see something happen 3 times in a row, I know.
Good pattern.
It's good just for me to understand you know, what's going on. Let's make one more change.
It is weird. I don't know what made me feel like that was shorter. Something felt like it was shorter and lighter almost, you know? But I mean, it could just be stiffer tip.
Difference in profile, difference in weight.
Yeah.
All right, try that.
Sweet.
Solid.
That felt good, yeah.
Very solid.
Man. Yeah, I think even with just 3 shots on that other shaft, I could tell I was like having to fight the left. Like first one felt like I towed it, so it's kind of whatever. And then second one, it was like, wait, I feel like that was better and it still went left. But then, yeah, all of a sudden you switch shafts and this just goes really straight again.
Yeah, very solid. 162 on the ball speed, 36 and a half on the landing angle. So that's that flat flight that we really like.
That's the lowest one, right? Is that?
That's one of the lower that you've had with 26 RPM. So for you, that'd probably be maybe the flattest shot.
Sure.
That is it mostly a stock one.
Yeah.
Unless you were trying to hit it lower.
Yeah.
Numbers wise, really solid.
Awesome.
Very solid.
Awesome.
270 in the air, 292 total. I'd call that an A+.
Sweet.
On the TrackMan number. Yeah. Beauty.
That felt great.
Really nice.
Thank you.
If you like to hit a 2-yard cut,
I'm cool with it.
290.
I'm cool with
really
that.
nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, so that was a little bit on the higher end. We could see that 40.
Yep.
And the spin goes up a little bit with it at 28.
Okay.
Earlier we were living, you know, in the 3,000 range.
Yeah.
So if we can
Lower
scrub
spin.
a couple hundred RPMs of spin off,
Yeah.
get it to fly a little more efficiently.
Yep.
Right. So again, we talked about the optimum of 30 to 40, 35 being that numerical perfect. That's not for every player.
Sure.
Right.
I'm living
So,
in the like 38 to 42.
Yeah, your relative optimum would probably be between, you know, 37 to 41.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Right.
Which is going to happen.
It feels like the misses are the only ones that touch the 40 or up, right? So if the good ones are 38-ish.
Yeah, so if we could just lower you one level down to get your misses to still be within that range.
Yeah.
You can be much more efficient with your golf game.
I don't lose a ton of distance with the high ones.
Exactly. Sweet. Let's see a couple more. I want to see you, you know, try to work one of these right to left.
Yep, love it. That was so good.
Beautiful.
That was bombed. For me, it's never actually bombed, but you know.
We love bombed.
For me, it's
like
bombed.
that. Yeah, 163 on the, or 62 and a half on the ball speed.
Yeah.
Really solid. 39 on the landing angle, 2,300 RPMs.
That's
so
great.
You're scrubbing 500 when you move it right to left.
Yeah.
Still flying efficiently.
Yeah.
So
you can
so
tell
far I
hit
think
the ball and hit the ground and chase.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got about 20 yards on the back end
Sweet.
of rollout.
Love it.
So really solid. So far I think shaft-wise this is a really good setup.
Yeah.
And we can pause for a second and maybe talk about why.
Yeah.
So what I looked for in the video is basically a point before impact, at impact, or after impact with where the shaft leads up with your lead arm.
Okay.
Right? That's going to tell me about how much rotation you have.
Like the release.
Yeah, we call it rotation. Release would happen maybe a little bit earlier in the swing.
Okay.
But how much rotation does that club head have through impact? Okay. And that really is going to determine what type of tip section you should be playing.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Players who typically have a faster release or fast rotation, they play better with softer tip shafts.
Okay.
Right? A little more rotation, a little more softness in the tip.
Sure.
And then the opposite, players who hold it through impact are going to do better with a firmer tip shaft.
Right.
And then you have the players in the middle. So for me, you lean towards a little bit of neutral to earlier or faster in your release. Right. So we're working on a shaft that's pretty neutral in its tip section, maybe a little bit firmer than where we started with Reacts.
Right.
And a little bit softer in the handle for some of that feel aspect that you like.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Lighter feel aspect, softer in the handle, firmer in the tip to make sure that it's stable.
Right.
But it's a pretty neutral tip section.
Right.
In terms of comparing it to maybe a Ventus blue or a Ventus red, different profile.
Right.
So I think so far we've got the shaft in a really good spot.
Absolutely.
I'd love to try you in the core head just to give you a feel for that. It's probably something that you haven't tried in a while.
For sure.
So,
yeah. I've been in a low spin head for as long as I can remember, honestly.
Yeah, what I like about the core head is that it's not a low spin head, but we can certainly use some weighting to get there.
Okay.
I like to see where we're at just with a stock setting.
Yeah.
Just to see how you feel, a little difference in feel off the face for some players.
Sure. You can just push the weight towards the face and
exactly. So instead of having just 2 weights, we've got 4 weights, 2 in the back, 2 in the front, where we can kind of maneuver these weights, which are going to change flight aspects, feel aspects, ball speed.
For sure.
Could scrub some spin, could add some spin, whatever we were looking to do, just a little more workability there. Yeah.
We're kind of in that like last 10% like you were talking about.
Yeah, so I think we've gotten a large percentage of the way there with pretty much where we want to be for loft, where we want to be at in shaft profile. Now let's try to just maybe see if we can tune it a little bit more and just give you a different feel.
Love it. Yeah, definitely.
So we'll go core 9, all the weights will be stock. We've got 2 4-gram weights in the front, 2 9-gram weights in the back.
Okay. This is gonna be like a little more forgiving, higher spin weight setup?
Yeah, in a sense. Definitely a little bit more forgiveness. You have more weighting in the back, a little higher CG.
Yeah.
It's gonna promote a higher MOI for the driver.
Sure.
So the resisting of twisting through impact, yeah, just stability.
Okay.
So
love it.
Let's give this a go.
Sweet. It's got a little bit larger footprint too.
Yeah, it's 4 millimeters longer than the LS head.
Ooh, wasn't a good first swing, but I mean,
good miss.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, that was.
Yeah, your ball speed will suffer.
Yeah.
Felt like it was a little low and heely, but you'll definitely get away with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that ball will total out pretty much where you were carrying earlier.
Okay.
270 total.
Okay.
But for that type of hit, 3,100 RPMs a spin, 35 on the landing angle.
Yeah.
That's why landing angle is so important for us.
For sure.
Not your best swing. Feedback right away was negative.
Right.
Didn't feel great.
Right.
But it flew pretty efficiently for what you presented to the golf ball.
I barely hit the base.
You get away with it,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. That is so nice to see those heel balls that still like the flight's down enough that they're still going forward. They're not just like the
exactly
poofy kind of high floaters, you know?
No floating, no rising.
That's right. That was pretty good. I don't feel like I hit it as far left as it went, but
felt like the outcome was a little more left than what you thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of those like a little of both. I pulled it a little, but I feel like it also
it turned
gave
a little
on
bit. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, a solid hit, 160 ball speed, 25 RPMs, 2,500 RPMs, and 39. So kind of a more average.
Yeah. Strike was solid. I mean,
yeah,
it's
so just a little more left than you felt. Okay.
That's a much higher flight.
Another good miss.
Yeah.
I would say the story so far with these 3 shots, though, are more good misses than you're super confident and happy with what we're getting off the face.
Right,
so,
they didn't come off quite as perfect as the LS.
Exactly, yeah. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to hit it, give you an opportunity to see if it could benefit you anymore. But so far, I think LS has been the driver for you.
I think so.
So right now we're in LS 9 degree. We've got the 15-gram weight up front. I think that's to help maybe keep some of that spin down and keep the ball speed up.
Right.
That is something that you can toy around with as you go out and play.
Just move the weights around.
Yeah, I mean, the more weight that you have back, the higher the ball is going to want to go.
Sure.
Right, but the more weight you have forward, the more spin you can scrub, the more ball speed we could potentially gain.
Right.
I didn't think, you know, because we're on the higher end of landing angle, I think having the weight forward for you helps.
We're trying to drop off a little spin.
Exactly. I really like the fit. I really like the LS 9 degree weight forward, really neutral in the sleeve setting.
Yep.
Ventus TR blue 6X, so fits the profile for your rotation.
For sure.
Good handle for you in the feel. And then no funny business going on with the sleeve, very neutral setup, so you can kind of be you and work the golf ball.
Absolutely, I love it, man. That's exciting. This has been it's been so good.
Awesome.
Definitely beat my expectations.
Well done.
Love it, dude. Thanks so much.
Good job.
Appreciate you. Very welcome.